arrived. Unfortunately, I am Superman of Doom. The people of the Motherland have come, and it's good that I am Superman of Doom. Chapter 59. Here, let's eat something first. Wanda took Yiming's hand affectionately and walked towards the dining table. On the dining table, there is a chocolate strawberry and a knife and fork for two. Wait. Why is the mechanical furnace heating up? Forcing herself to calm down and not look at the delicious and seductive Miss Witch, Meng picks up a knife and cuts the chocolate strawberry open, revealing half of the strawberry heart. While he was cutting strawberries, Wanda sat on the chair, slightly lying on the table, holding her chin and cheeks with her hands. Her eyes reflected the figure of a silver-haired young man. And her bright and beautiful eyebrows were full of softness and smile. Watch me do what? Meng avoided the other party's fiery gaze and stuffed half of the strawberries into his mouth with a fork. Little dream, we're going to be together forever, you know? Wanda stared straight at him. Meng, who felt that he had entered the state of playing, opened his mouth, but could not say a word anyway. What is fake, and it is impossible to come true no matter how much you play, and giving a disguised sunshine to a person in the dark is the greatest cruelty. Meng forcibly changed the subject. Wanda, I remember, you can repair all the furniture. Of course, I'm a magical girl. Wanda smiled slightly. Meng continued to guide. And what if it is? What about items like gems? Gems? Haven't tried it, but it should work. Wanda tilted her head in response. If so, what about the yellow gems? As soon as Meng's words came out, he felt that the entire wooden house building, no, the entire Westview town trembled violently. Meng looked at Wanda sitting in front of her again, and found that her face was pale with panic, and her lips were constantly trembling and shouting, no. Not me who broke it. Little dream, not what I want to do. Quote. Sorry, I said the wrong thing. Meng found that he really thought too much. If Wanda could modify and restore all the mind gems, then Vision could really be reborn. Instead of creating a false illusion as it is now. Boom, the wooden house where you are located trembles violently, and the whole town is shaking. Wanda's state of mind is turbulent, and the illusion of reality maintained by the power of chaos cannot be maintained. Meng saw that Wanda was trembling like a wounded little beast, and simply reached out and hugged her tightly into his arms. Wanda, with me, it's already fine. I will always be with you. Little dream, little dream. Wanda kept chanting, lying in Meng's arms, her hands tightly pinching her collar until she passed out. The moment she slept, the movement of the wooden house and the town fell silent one by one. Outside the window, the night is quiet and peaceful. Meng sighed secretly, picked up the woman with tears in the corners of her eyes in her arms, and walked upstairs. Second floor room. Amons gently placed the sleepy Wanda on the bed and covered it with a quilt until the slings were slightly removed over her shoulders. Look at the real face of the other party who looks haggard and sad in his sleep. Meng calmly spoke. I'm sorry, Miss Witch. Wanda, I lied. Quote. I'm not your lover hallucination that you want to resurrect, and I don't know why. I became a vision here. If I find the answer, I will definitely come back and tell you. The premise is, you don't resent me. After Meng said this, he walked out of the room. At the moment when the wooden door closes gently. On the bed, the woman was still asleep, but two crystalline rays of light crossed her face in the night. Meng walked out of the newly married wooden house. He no longer disguised his identity as Vision, and the moment he walked out of the door, he flew directly out of thin air and flew towards the outside of Zijing town. In the neighboring wooden house, Agnes, a neighbor woman who visited her door in the afternoon, secretly peeked at this scene from the window on the first floor of her house, and smiled. I didn't expect that he would wake up so quickly that he didn't need any guidance from me. ... Turn into a streamer. Meng, who has a reborn Vision body, swept across the night sky of the town, flying straight from the central city to the border. Until he crashed into the faint scarlet energy shield that covered the town. Airplanes. A scarlet light burst out, resisting Meng to go out. At this time, outside the town, the temporary base of the Heavenly Sword Bureau stationed here to study the Scarlet Witch and Zijing town, all the staff hurriedly walked out when they heard the movement. Looked up at the night sky and were quickly stunned. Boom. With the continuous stirring of scarlet light, a young figure stretched the energy shield little by little from inside the town, revealing the vibranium mechanical body. Meng rushed out, first sticking out a head, soon the metal body of the assembly line, and finally the legs with self-power. When his whole body broke away from the scarlet energy shield covered in the town, he broke away instantly. Click. Vision's complete vibranium body continues to crack, like disintegrating into countless vibranium parts at once, spilling down from the night sky little by little. It looks like self-destruction. But in fact, a self-consciousness broke free from it and returned to the outside world along the network signal. Get out of trouble. Artificial intelligence Meng is happy, like a dragon returning to the sea, from the sky above the town to the Heavenly Sword Bureau near Ball Satellite, looking down at Marvel Earth. Goodbye, Westview, Red Witch. Best. Never again. Meng secretly made up his mind. How to repair the complete mind gem is the next thing to do. 0067 The Birth of White Vision. Not long after Vision, played by Meng, walked out of the house, broke through the energy shield at the edge of the town, and left from the body of Vision. The town began to shake again in constant turmoil. The western town of the 50s was dreamy and mysterious. From the original grey and white to color, some old period objects began to recover, as if they were about to change back to the modern town appearance. New house, wooden house, second floor, wedding room. Wanda's eyelashes on the bed trembled slightly, woke up from the coma, and when she woke up, she subconsciously stretched out her hand to the side. But she grabbed an empty space in the silent dark night. The woman was stunned, and her delicate and beautiful self lost its brightness and vitality again, and her bare white feet stepped directly on the wooden floor. Walk down the stairs. The first floor of the wooden house was not lit, the previous candlelight was extinguished, and in the darkness of the room, half of the chocolate strawberries remained on the table. The laughter and romance are gone, and I am alone again. Wanda stood silently in the main hall on the first floor, standing for a long time. The shaking of the wooden house and the town intensified. At this time, there was a knock at the door. Wanda hurriedly wiped the tears from her face, stepped forward quickly with joy and anticipation, and after opening the wooden door, she could see a charming woman standing outside. It was neighbor, Agnes. Agnes met Wanda's disappointed eyes and said cheerfully, Vision left. I told you in the afternoon to read a book called, How to Tempt and Keep Your Husband. Quote. Without waiting for Wanda to respond, Agnes continued, Oh no, Vision. He was long dead. Quote. As soon as the words fell, Wanda's shrunken eyes flashed scarlet, so that the scarlet energy that shrouded the entire Westview town was shaken. Wanda stared coldly at Agnes. You are not a resident of this town, who are you? Cluck. The corner of Agnes's mouth raised an arc, smiled furiously, and changed her dress, returning to the robe of a medieval wizard. You can call me Agatha. A person who has lived for more than 300 years, and who is a witch like you. Agatha's eyes and body surged with evil purple-black energy, stretched out her hand, and several evil energies bound Wanda's hands, feet and body, and hung in a low air. I'm not a witch. Wanda struggled and shook her head decisively. I just accidentally touched the mind gem, so I got telepathy and manipulation abilities. Stop kidding yourself. Agatha looked at Wanda hanging in the low altitude and said resolutely, You are not only a witch, but also a natural witch with super potential. Witches are the best at demagoguery and manipulating the world, but it is also the first time I have seen the amazing power that can modify the reality of the entire town. Quote. If your power belongs to me, I will become the first witch. Agatha smiled charmingly, raised her left palm, and a black ancient book haunted by evil and coldness appeared in her hand out of thin air. The 5 fingers of Agatha's right hand stretched out, and scarlet energy suddenly withdrew from Wanda's struggling body, surging towards the plump body wrapped in black witch robes. One of the dark god calligraphy spells, absorbing and transforming the ability of others. At this time, outside Westview town, the temporary base of the Heavenly Sword Bureau stationed on the grass, the armed forces and staff were all stunned. Under their gaze, the scarlet energy shield that shrouded the entire town continued to twist, and at first a large hole that was difficult to maintain from the dome was broken. The isolated town of Westview is once again connected to the outside world. Meng, who invaded and controlled the Heavenly Sword Bureau's near-ball satellite, naturally noticed this, and he also saw that at a height of about 100 meters. A white humanoid metal figure flew towards the town at an extremely fast speed. That was. Meng's heart was shocked. The white humanoid metal existed. It turned out to be exactly the same as Vision, except that the eyebrows were replaced by the heart gem with a chip gem. And the tall body was a pure white vibranium mechanical creature. This also represents. The Heavenly Sword Bureau really succeeded. Successfully disassembled the mechanical remains of Vision and replaced them with new parts one by one, so as to assemble a new machine, a smart tool with Vision ability. First chapter, previous chapter 59, 140th, next chapter, epilogue table.